Couples used to walk the Sundown Path. Kid ain't here for pleasure, though. But then... somebody gets to the core before the kid. The floor starts giving way under the lighter step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. So could a reckless kid, for that matter. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky. Stray valuables are lying everywhere. Security's all fired up. Kid thinks twice about risking his hide for him, though. Quick and careful is the only way to go. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such. Not so much for noise and tomfoolery. Sky bridges link the path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Finds a spyglass, like the ones they'd used to search the stars. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. The calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we can do it again. But the question is, who else could have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back. Know they used to ship live munitions down the path. Find time to find them. Wires to toss those things plenty far away. Even gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky when you wake them up. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So he didn't find the core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. Come on, give the little tyke a break. We could always see the stars, we just never could reach them, no matter how high we built. Sometimes a single look says it all. War machetes are so quick, you gotta keep a good grip on them. A bow and a machete, every bit as effective as the fancier stuff. Kid decides to keep working his aim and footwork on the shingle. Best time to pick a new spot was when swapping magazines. A decent trapper wouldn't walk away empty-handed. To think a rickety place like the Shingle survived, when so little else did. That ought to make those fangs sink in nice and deep. Can't be too careful these days. trappers got what they needed for a better hunt. The trappers would have been impressed with how the kid handled the shingle. He's feeling real proud of that show. The Hanging Gardens. Folks used to go here to relax from their relaxing. The dead welcome him with open arms. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees it plain, frozen faces all around. You don't much care to see him. Not like this. These folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close. Someone like him. Kid sees him there agape, in the flesh. It's a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop, no matter what. He's got too many questions after all. Just ain't got time for answers. The Thunder brothers didn't make it. They never saw what it was like beyond the walls. Nor did the bird boy. Didn't make it. The Jawsons, they didn't make it. Grady Sr., Grady Jr., they didn't make it. But him, he survived. Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here. Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? The core survives as well. And then, what do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this. We have to go. Please. He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zulf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time. For Zulf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east. We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now. We ain't much for pleasantries. We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine. He was born in the Tazzle terminals. The Ura sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since. Zulf offers to help me plot the skyways for the kid. At least the calamity hasn't touched the stars, he says. The cores, they remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be all right. Well, look what we have here. The memorial. Here a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more. Words can't express what happened, but they're all I got. We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city. That's Cinderbrick Fort, where the marshals used to watch over the city. There's Pyth Orchard, built in honor of the bull, and folks like Zulf, who pray to him. No use praying to the gods these days. No time for it either. Kid says a little prayer anyway. Couldn't hurt, right? Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pyth, the bull. Pyth Orchard. Place is a dead end in more ways than one. Well, the gods are long gone now, and the Orchard core, it's long gone too. Seems Pyth ain't much of a watchdog. gods don't care about trinkets, but the kid ain't no god. The gods ain't gonna catch you if you fall. Pyth stood for something once. Something real. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being decoration. He couldn't even save his loyal subjects. Pyth makes a decent scarecrow, at least. Then Pyth lights up like a rodeo. Kid breaks him to bits. Must have been guarding that shrine. So what'll it be? Invoke the gods, or tell them off? Popping windbags is hard enough. No need to get the gods involved. Things might have gone worse if Kid tampered with that shrine. Kid ain't found a core, but at least he found Zulf's precious shrine. Now we can build a shrine of our own, though I got some alternatives in mind. The Ura feared the gods. We turned them into toys, put their faces on our walls. Zulf doesn't touch the thing. Says the god of commotion is no children's toy. Turning round and round all you like, Pyth's still gonna be ugly. The Breakers. Ain't no one could outrun them. Or their arrows. That's the Bullhead court. Folks defended themselves there with shields, not words. The accused always got a fair shake in Zealandia. Some used to take the Bullhead trial. Survive the trial without taking a scratch, you'd walk away a free man. The Bullhead trial taught folks three things. First, a good defense is a good offense. Second, gotta always watch your back. Third, ain't no godlike bull up there gonna save you. The smarter ones knew when to just step aside and let things go. Kid makes it out in one piece. Well, the kid always wanted to compete in the Bullhead trial. Kid says hello, but Zulf's lost in thought. We talk a little, here and there. There's only one way to Cinderbrick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. The calamity was mercy for normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky. They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid. Wham! Kid's ready for the windbags this time. Well, windbags young and old keep fighting for the fort. Kid can't hardly tell up from down after a while. Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent meal. Lamdy drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort. Could have been minding the business underground like in the old days. Windbags can't use the marshal supplies, but the kid sure can. As for the windbags, Cinderbrick gave them enough heat and metal to munch on for a while. Well, the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame them for wanting it, though. So many of those sorry things holed up inside that old fort. Not a scratch on him as he presses on the higher ground. Kid's blasting everything in sight with that newfangled musket. Kid's got a squirt lure at the ready, in case things turn sour. Security's plane gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. Kid ain't afraid of getting burned. They trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds. Then they bring out Glutus and Glandon and all their scumbag uncles. They got something to gain, and only their sorry hides to lose. Kid takes down Glutus, or maybe it was Glandon. The windbags finally get the message. Kid used to dream of getting a marshal's badge, but not like this. The Skyway's a welcome sight after all that. And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort. Kid shows up just as Zulf's telling me about his own journey to the city. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zulf was a smoking pipe. The marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity. Zulf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Even since the Ura surrendered to us, the marshals kept a wary eye on him. Zulf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this. The lost and found. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again. The marshals kept the city's peace. They can rest easy now. Cinderbrick stout sure goes down smooth, then stays in your gut like a rock. Anything survives a musket shot ought to be quick work for that blade. You want to tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel.